do have a conspiracy, and I'm going to prove it to you here today. Your mind.
The entire earth is bought into this world communist Illuminati secret societies financed out of England and America to bring about a new world order, which is a communist Nazi movement to enslave the human race. We are now a full-blown Nazi fascist dictatorship, communist dictatorship, and the people of this country have no idea in the world.
They're a pack of criminal, degenerate liars.
The new day that's dawning, which is nothing more than the old communist world takeover. Communist Nazi movement.
They love brain damaging your children. They love poisoning your water. And they love taking your kids once they degenerate them. It's so much fun.
They're involved in international trafficking of children.
And we're sitting here and half our people don't even know we're in a fight of our lives. I am sick of you, criminal filth. See pure evil everywhere, pure lies everywhere, pure corruption, and I just see pure evil everywhere, pure lies everywhere, pure corruption.
Well, Adolf Hitler said on February 5th, 1941, he said, basically National Socialism and Marxism are the same. The whole of National Socialism is based on it.
Please make copies and get them out to your friends. That's what it's all about.
If you say to me, do I really mean eugenics, that they are going to selectively cull people, I have absolutely no doubt that that is what is going to happen if we allow it.
To destroy a murderer, you have become what it was you set out to destroy, and thus it wasn't destroyed at all. It was perpetuated by that very action, and that's what these men are doing. They rationalize everything they do so that they feel better about it. But what they are doing is becoming what it is that they want to get rid of. And the world will never be a safe place for anyone as long as there are men who do these things.
Okay, and for anybody that was expecting me to be having Taylor on the show today, a South London rapper responsible for this tune, I'm sorry I got my dates mixed up. That's next week, but here's Taylor anyway.
Yeah. £1 million houses right next to estates. You could call it London a police state. And you know how police stay. They drag kids at the car, straight violate. But they hate it when they chat to me, cause when I talk back it's a legalese. So stop signing the paper sheet. Be a freeman on the land, go and Google this. But they say I got an attitude cause I don't consent to acts and statute laws. Make a policeman's head get sore cause he can't answer what he's trying to enforce. So I let him know that I know the law. I stick him on his oath under common law. They'll be wondering why that's for, but it all helps out when we get to court. And when we get to court, be a freeman in the place, of course. Car, if you wanna see the system shut down, you can't be at home just sitting on the net and blog. Before I walk in the court, stand at the door, and so I claim out common law. On and for the record, can I have the judge's oath of office? Do we have an accord? Do we have an accord? Do we have an accord? Do we have an accord?
And you will be told steps away from consent. Consent is no comment. Consent is saying nothing when the police grab you and try and put something on you. Do you know what you're signing? Do you even really know what you're signing? Do you know what you're reading? Do you even really know what you're reading? Do you know what you're signing? Do you even really know what you're signing? See, there are many things in between PlayStation and gyal and money. Like the very words you use daily. Like the very name you think is yours daily. Right now, you want to be looking for YouTube, Freeman on the land, Freeman bees police, Freeman standing in court, Freeman no driving license, Freeman no council tax, Freeman get out of debt, Freeman against TV licensing. See, there are many freemen and free women already.
Yeah. I can't wait to meet this guy next week. Tomorrow's been bigging him up for a long time. I look forward to having him on the show. Hopefully we're going to have a live set for him as it goes in the show, since we've got the mixer and all that set up here. Yeah, the business with this car insurance as well, it struck me as well. I've been hearing my missus talk about the sort of controlled collapse of the local government authorities, and it strikes me that with all of the mortgage foreclosures and what have you that are going on, there's a real kind of pillage going on through the middle classes, and it struck me that insurance rates at those sort of levels are essentially going to you're not going to get the middle classes suddenly stop insuring their cars. They're too terrified of having their collar felt. I mean, even myself, I wouldn't consider myself to be middle class in any way, shape or bloody form. But even so, I have to insure my vehicle because I live in central London and because I literally could not drive it from point A to point B without continually having to resist the authorities with it. So yeah, it's a matter of some urgency, but I see it as part of this kind of banksters grab, this cash grab frenzy that seems to be going on at the moment, where virtually every revenue stream is being creamed to its absolute utmost, and it would appear that most of the intensity of the force of law is being applied basically to quell dissent and to enforce this kind of bloody ANPR. Tell me about it. It's being used to enforce this statute law upon us, which we all know to be fucking fraudulent and illegal. So it's our duty to resist, but at the same time, if we resist without doing so in a way that isn't going to incur such a burden on our time, energy, financial resources, it's hard to imagine this being turned into any sort of a mass campaign. And if we don't bloody start some sort of resistance against this soon, the country is going to be on its knees. Everybody is going to be so racked about their debt and about the bailiffs knocking on the door and the police standing in the street and what have you. There's going to be mass suicides. I already know many sort of local government authority workers who are in the process of losing their jobs at the moment, who more or less on the verge of suicide. They see they've been in what they considered to be a secure job for life on a salary. They've all entered into the whole bloody buy your house game, which really is a game. I'm terribly sorry for those of you who are caught up in it, but I watched my poor mother work her fingers to the bone to keep a roof over our heads the whole time that she was alive. And the reason why she did that with a mortgage that she could ill afford was because she believed that she would be leaving us the means for putting a roof over our heads. Of course, by the time the will comes to settlement, the house is worth so little against the current market value, and being divided amongst as many of us as it was, the sum that we got from it was an absolute pittance. And my poor mother had worked her entire life to a default of keeping this bloody mortgage going, which was crucifying her, when we probably would have been better off and happier and more wealthy living in rented accommodation all that time and not having the paltry payout that we got from all of that hard work from her. And it does... It's a bit like a lot of the people who have got mortgages, the reason why they have got mortgages is not necessarily because they thought that was the best way to stay in a property. We're talking about a property bubble here. We're talking about so many people being drawn into the marketplace in the promise of huge profits for their investment, and to think of their their housing costs as an investment rather than as a bill like the rest of us. You know what I mean? It's hard to feel entirely sorry for some of those people that have really bought way beyond their means and are now reaping the pain of trying to meet those repayments that in any logical world would have been seen as unsustainable. But even so, we're still left with a whole raft of society that are, if not now, are very shortly to be facing a very unsettled future with very little security of tenure or of income, and with the dismantling of the welfare state at the same time. We've got to get together, people. We really have just got to stop talking, stop griping, stop worrying about bloody chemtrails and the Illuminati and whatever you want to describe it as, because all of those things all may be very meaningful avenues of inquiry, but we need to start bloody working together. I've already started a thread on the Freeman League for an employment exchange of sorts, a labour exchange, like the old-fashioned labour exchange that you would visit in the 70s, where work is offered and labour offered, and the two are brought together in the same place. Essentially, we're all in the same bloody boat. If we continue to expect our previous salaries and our previous lifestyles without getting off our butts and doing something for each other and for ourselves at the same time, I think we're already lost. I've already seen some successes with the labour exchange thread over on the Freeman League, and it would be really nice to see that replicated out. I know that Kaz is involved with a food cooperative, which hopefully will have her on soon to promote. I'm sure she'll be promoting that herself in her shows going out on a Sunday afternoon. We've got to join hands. We've got to join forces, not in any sort of a revolutionary resistance, but as an evolutionary sidestep of what has been planned for us. I mean, this isn't This isn't something that just dropped on us out of the blue. This is this has been coming for a very long time. Again, I'm minded of the Illuminatus and the reference to the 100-year plan, which at the time of the book's writing had only been publicly known about